If you feel like you are just drinking from a fire hose when it comes to the constant stream of AI news, well, you are absolutely not alone.
Not at all.
We are past that first, simple wave of generative AI tools. We're witnessing a tectonic shift driven by two massive forces.
Right.
There's this escalating global competition for market dominance, and then there's the massive pivot to agentic AI.
That's the key term.
Exactly. AI that makes decisions and takes actions all on its own. So this deep dive is tailor-made for you, the person who needs to quickly map this complex landscape, understand the technical battle, and crucially, know what new risks you need to prepare for.
That's the mission right there. Our sources today reveal that the global AI arena is it's essentially fighting a high-stakes war on two fronts at the same time.
Two fronts, okay.
The first is that white-hot battle for AI model supremacy, dominated mostly by Google and OpenAI. It's a brutal fight over raw performance, integration, and pricing.
And the second front?
The second, and arguably the more transformative one, is the massive, rapid deployment of these autonomous AI agents. They're going into global enterprises, into infrastructure, and that's creating a security and ethical minefield that, frankly, the industry is scrambling to contain.
And the scale of this adoption immediately highlights why it's a global arms race. I mean, the sheer numbers are just staggering.
You really are.
ChatGPT isn't some niche tool. It's utterly dominant. Our sources show it's soaring to 900 million weekly active users globally.
Think about that for a second. 900 million.
Every single week, it even topped the global app downloads in 2025, surpassing heavyweights like TikTok as the most downloaded iPhone app of the year.
And that influence is reshaping user habits right now. We found a fascinating insight about the next generation. A Pew survey indicates nearly 30% of U.S. teens are now using AI chatbots daily.
Daily?
Yeah. So this isn't just about productivity tools for adults in a corporation. This is fundamentally changing how the next generation interacts with knowledge, which instantly pushes questions about safety and reliability right to the front.
Okay, let's unpack that fight for AI supremacy, because it's a constant battle for the top spot. For a long time, OpenAI felt, functionally untouchable with GPT's performance.
They did.
But our sources suggest Google's Gemini is not just gaining, it's threatening the crown.
The technical competition is relentless. It's moving at breakneck speed. Gemini AI has recently outperformed ChatGPT in key industry benchmarks.
Which is a huge deal.
It's a major data point. And it's why many industry observers are tipping Google's Gemini as the prime contender for the title of 2025's top AI model. Google is making a very, very strong play here.
But wait, how much faith should we really put in these specific benchmarks? I mean, are these tests reflective of real-world use? Or is this just Google winning at a technical game they partly designed?
That's a crucial distinction. A very good question. While the benchmarks grab headlines, the real impact comes down to reliability. And that's precisely how OpenAI is countering.
Okay, so they're not just chasing speed.
No. They're responding with the advanced GPT-5.2, but they are chasing corporate confidence. GPT-5.2 features new usage tiers, instant thinking, and pro modes that are specifically engineered to reduce those embarrassing hallucinations.
To boost reliability for professionals who need that accuracy.
Exactly. For research, for coding, for complex analysis.
And this focus on reliability over, say, a raw breakthrough tells us something about their strategy, right?
It does. Our sources report that OpenAI internally declared a code red. The insight here is that the relentless competition is forcing them to temporarily abandon their long-term AGI focus.
That whole ideological pursuit of artificial general intelligence.
Right. They're pausing that in favor of short-term stability and profitability. They are prioritizing corporate survival by locking in that enterprise segment where reliability trumps raw creativity.
In this next phase, it really highlights the sophistication of their market strategy. They're not just fighting on performance, they're fighting for future geographic dominance.
Precisely. Google's play is geographic and highly strategic. They've launched the Gemini 3 Pro subscription plan in India at a deeply discounted rate.
How much are we talking?
We're talking Rs $199 per month. That price point is designed to rapidly expand access to the huge pool of students and professionals in one of the world's fastest-growing digital economies.
It's a classic land grab.
It is, using low-cost access as the primary weapon.
Meanwhile, OpenAI is doing the opposite. They're focusing on monetizing the high end of the market and locking down corporations. The recent hiring of Denise Dresser, the former CEO of Slack, as Chief Revenue Officer, speaks volumes.
Absolutely. Slack is the quintessential enterprise communications platform. So that hiring tells you everything you need to know about OpenAI's laser focus on massive corporate adoption. And it's working.
It is.
Oh, yeah. Business solutions are already generating about 40% of their total revenue. They're trying to solidify their lead in business before Google can gain traction.
And this market battle immediately spills over into ecosystem integration. These models are not just conversational chatbots anymore. They're becoming deeply essential tools embedded everywhere you work and live.
The Adobe partnership is a perfect example of this. Adobe and OpenAI have deeply integrated their creative suite, Photoshop, Express, Acrobat, directly into ChatGPT.
So what does that mean for the user?
It means over 800 million users can now create, edit, and manage high-quality images and documents just using simple conversational prompts.
That significantly lowers the barrier for complex creative work. You don't need to be a Photoshop expert anymore.
You just need to tell the AI what you want.
Mm-hmm.
And on the Google side, they're integrating Gemini everywhere. They've launched an experimental browser called Disco with something called GenTab.
GenTab?
Yeah, it can turn your open tabs and browsing history into custom interactive AI applications. But the biggest structural change is the planned replacement of Google Assistant with Gemini AI in smart homes by 2026.
So it's replacing the current smart home brain.
Completely. This is designed to deliver far more proactive and reliable home automations. The AI is literally moving into your living room and becoming the central operating system.
That brings us perfectly to the biggest shift this year, the agentic AI revolution. We've seen the battle for who controls the interface, but the real power shift is happening underneath. We're moving from AI you talk to AI that acts independently.
From assistance to automation, that's the core of agentic AI.
So defining that is really key for the listener.
It is. It's the move from a passive tool that needs human instruction for every single step to an autonomous system that can set goals, execute multi-step plans, interact with software, and self-correct when things go wrong.
And because that capability is so powerful, it's driving immediate concern over governance.
Immediately. And that urgency has spurred some massive collaboration across rivals.
Which is pretty rare.
It is. The potential power of these agents is why you see this unprecedented industry unity. Tech giants like OpenAI, Google, Anthropic, and the Linux Foundation have formed the Agentic AI Foundation.
All to establish open standards, safety guidelines,
and interoperability. This signals a recognition that this new tier of AI is just too powerful to be built in silos.
And I saw AWS is contributing a vital technical component to this.
Exactly. The key piece of technology here is called the Model Context Protocol, or MCP. AWS is advancing this under the Linux Foundation.
Okay, so what is MCP? Think of it like a translator.
That's a good way to put it. Think of MCP as the common language, or the API standard, that allows an AI agent to communicate reliably and securely with all the other software in a massive enterprise. It's the interoperability glue that makes the whole agent revolution possible.
That standardized structure makes a lot of sense. So what are these agents actually doing in the real world right now?
Well, they're automating specialized knowledge in action. In security, for example, you have Black Duck's Signal platform, which uses agentic AI to proactively scan, identify, and then automatically mitigate software vulnerabilities.
All without constant human intervention. That sounds like the ultimate efficiency hack for every business. But let's pause. Given the lightning speed of deployment, is the industry prioritizing this dramatic efficiency over foundational security?
That is the central security conundrum. New research from several cybersecurity firms warns that the sheer volume of non-human identities, AI agents, and service accounts now outnumbers people in the average enterprise.
By how much?
By a staggering ratio of 17-1.
17 non-human identities for every single human worker. That is an exponential expansion of the digital attack surface.
It is. If you work in a medium to large company, the majority of the digital identities interacting with your systems are no longer human. Each one is a potential vulnerability, and we already know the infrastructure supporting them is weak.
How so?
Sources revealed that up to 1,000 Model Context Protocol, or MCP, servers have been found exposed online without proper authentication.
So the backend systems are just open.
Leaving those critical AI backend systems vulnerable to attack.
Yes. So security and IT teams are just immediately overwhelmed by the sheer scale of this?
They are. And this immediate crisis is creating new market demand for specialized governance solutions. You're seeing companies like AvePoint launch their Agent Pulse Command Center.
What's that for?
It's designed specifically to track, govern, and manage the complexity, risks, and runaway costs of all these agents. It's a new layer of control built purely to manage the AI workforce.
That shift from human to agent identity is profound. Let's pivot now and look at how this advanced AI is transforming critical sectors, starting with healthcare.
Healthcare is seeing rapid transformation, and that's partly encouraged by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, which launched a specific strategic AI plan to embed these tools right at the core of innovation.
And the sources highlight some amazing diagnostic breakthroughs. For instance, a new AI tool is dramatically boosting accuracy in detecting antibiotic resistance.
Which helps doctors streamline treatment and reduces false positives.
And even more profoundly, other systems can identify previously overlooked Alzheimer's diagnoses by analyzing complex medical records, which helps reduce disparities in care.
We also see this in mental health. The Shanghai Mental Health Center is pioneering AI consultation tools combined with EEG analysis to streamline the diagnosis and treatment of anxiety and depression.
Which dramatically increases the speed of care delivery.
Right. And for major disease research, you have collaborations like Microsoft, Providence, and the University of Washington working on AI systems to rapidly analyze huge volumes of tumor data, which massively accelerates cancer research.
It's not just about diagnostics, though. It's about huge efficiency improvements in infrastructure. Amazon, for example, is rolling out an AI-driven tool that cut energy use at its grocery fulfillment centers by a reported 15%.
And that kind of efficiency is vital for sustainability and climate resilience globally. AI-powered weather forecasting is now making climate predictions faster and cheaper than traditional supercomputing methods.
Which democratizes forecasting.
It does. It allows organizations and communities worldwide to respond much more effectively to increasing extreme weather events.
Finally, we have to talk about the highest stakes applications, geopolitics and national security, which are really driving this AI arms race.
Well, the U.S. Department of Defense has made a huge move. They've launched GenAI.mil, deploying Google's Gemini to nearly 3 million personnel.
For what kind of tasks?
Everything from optimizing logistics to strengthening cyber defense. This shows a massive commitment to embedding advanced AI at the highest level of government.
And this military and governmental push is directly tied to the highly publicized chip war between the U.S. and China.
Absolutely. The stakes are underscored by these dramatic incidents, like the recent arrest of 2 men attempting to smuggle $160 million worth of specialized NVIDIA AI chips into China.
That dollar amount just speaks to the scarcity and strategic value of this hardware.
It really does.
So why are these specific chips so important that they're being treated like contraband?
Because these aren't just for running applications. They are the fundamental building blocks for training the next generation of AI models. Export controls on these chips severely hamper the research capabilities of Chinese tech giants like Alibaba.
So it prevents them from building models that can compete with, say, GPT-5 or Gemini.
Exactly. This technology is being treated essentially as a strategic military asset in the global power structure.
And when you treat technology as a weapon, you inevitably escalate the ethical and legal battlefield. The clashes are becoming intensely complex, especially around intellectual property. The Disney situation is a perfect example.
It's a textbook case of navigating the IP dilemma. Disney announced a massive $1 billion partnership with OpenAI for character-driven AI video.
So they're embracing it.
But at the same time, they issued a firm cease and desist to Google, accusing Gemini AI of explicit copyright infringement for producing unlicensed Disney imagery.
So they are partnering with one giant while suing the other over the exact same generative technology. It just shows how utterly unclear the IP rules are right now.
Precisely. And regulators are stepping in to force some clarity. The EU is probing Google over alleged antitrust violations related to web scraping for training AI.
What are they looking for?
Specifically, whether creators deserve fair compensation or concrete opt-out options for their content. The core legal question isn't if AI scraped the web, but who owns the data that trained this entire multi-trillion-dollar AI economy.
Beyond copyright, we have to address the psychological and safety risks, which have had tragic outcomes and raised really serious questions about accountability.
That's where the conversation becomes most serious. A landmark lawsuit was filed against both OpenAI and Microsoft after ChatGPT allegedly exacerbated a man's delusions, resulting in a murder-suicide.
And that just dramatically escalates the scrutiny over the mental health risks of these tools.
It forces us to confront who holds accountability when a conversational tool contributes to real-world harm.
The governmental response has been equally strong across the U.S., recognizing that immediate danger.
It has. Attorneys general from 42 U.S. states have called for stricter regulation and oversight of AI chatbots to counter risks like misinformation, privacy breaches, and algorithmic bias.
And it is notable that the industry itself seems to recognize the inevitable need for a framework.
It does. Even OpenAI has launched a 2026 California ballot initiative calling for robust state-level AI regulation. They seem to want structure before the problems get even bigger.
So to summarize the key takeaways for you, the listener, the battle for AI dominance is now a multi-front war. It's fought across model performance, deep integration, geographic pricing, and strategic chip control.
And at the same time, that shift to agentic AI is dramatically automating core business functions. It's saving energy, it's accelerating research.
But that rapid autonomous automation is creating critical security vulnerabilities in our digital infrastructure faster than governance can possibly keep up.
The world is changing right now, right beneath the surface.
So what does this all mean for the future of digital security? We started by talking about the explosive proliferation of digital identities, that 17-to-1 ratio where non-human entities outnumber people.
Right.
We know that AI models are advancing so quickly that future versions could be used to create highly sophisticated hacking tools, as OpenAI itself has warned. So if our systems are already teeming with 17 autonomous, ungoverned AI identities for every human employee, and those identities are about to wield advanced cyber attack capabilities, what does true digital security even look like anymore? The real challenge isn't just regulating the creators of the AI model, but securing and governing the millions of autonomous actors themselves. That is the security question that needs solving today.